Welcome to Awaken Health Pod. I'm Jennifer Grogan, Certified Integrative Health Coach with Greenleaf Wellness in Peoria, Illinois, and I'm with Shauna Scradell, a Certified Integrative Health Coach with Inspire Wellness for You in Arizona. What's up, Shauna?
Oh my gosh, good morning. Is it still morning? We usually do these things a heck of a lot later. I mean, earlier.
Yeah, it's a little later today, but that's okay.
Yes, I had to get my carpets clean, and thank you, Jen, so much for helping kind of work around my schedule with that.
Not a problem.
So, I saw that you had a green leaf chili cook-off. That went pretty well, it looks like.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had about 14 to 16 people there total. I've got pictures, but a lot of people declined to be in it, but that's okay. Yeah, we had our winner. We had our judges, which was a lot of fun. It was my father-in-law, my husband, and my two sons. The one begged to be a judge, and so I'm like, okay. But
awesome.
yeah, we had a winner, and she's really excited, and it was a lot of fun, going out and being creative with an award. So I got the trophy and everything, and presented that. And for those that subscribe to my newsletter, it'll be coming out soon with the recipe that she used and her picture and the group picture and everything. So it was a lot of fun. I started the recipe nights about 2 months ago, and so I've had really good turnouts. I'm really excited. So thank you for those that are listening that have attended, and I'm always looking for more to come. I do have surgery in December, so my next one I'm planning on is January, and probably do like ideas for Super Bowl healthy foods to prepare for February. So,
Well, great job. Thank you for sharing. I think that is awesome. Make sure to share the chili recipe with me too, if she doesn't mind.
yeah, absolutely.
And just briefly let all of our listeners know that no major health concerns with your surgery.
Oh no! I've got a no Funyun bunion. I've had it for a while, so it's part of the family. So, named him Paul. Just kidding. So he's coming off in December. I'm really excited about that. It's to the point now I've gone almost 3 years and it's getting worse. And so I've noticed it's starting to affect my power walking and stuff. So I'm like, time to get it removed. And the x-rays showed the doctor, it's getting to be a nuisance. It's too big. It's painful. So let's just go remove it. So yeah, nothing. I'm going to live.
Okay.
So
good.
Hopefully my family will live taking care of me for the month. But
good.
Oh, well.
Well, I think it's neat that you did the chili cook-off right at the beginning of season. Today's topic is warming foods, and that means it's time to break out that slow cooker.
Oh, yeah.
So, we like to share herbs and vitamins and foods and non-food things usually with our podcast topics. And so maybe today you can start sharing. What would you like to start sharing with, Jen?
Well, I know here in Illinois, it's going to be in the 30s tomorrow and Saturday with a chance of snow. So I'm no longer craving those salads and cucumbers. So I'm with you on the slow cooker, the chilies, and stuff like that. But a lot of people may not make the connection of warming foods, cold foods, raw foods, and the digestive system. So the digestive system works by warming up the food that's ingested by the stomach in order to convert into energy and blood production. And warm foods are great for our digestive system, allow fluids to flow more easily. And I just think that if you're not making that connection and you're freezing all winter long, look at the foods that you're eating, because you could still be craving like the spring and summer foods. So going in and changing that and just being more aware, you'll be more warm throughout the winter months. Because we all know, like, when you eat something hot, like hot peppers, you get real flushed and you feel hot throughout your body. It's because it's a very warming food. And so that's the purpose behind the warming foods. It's just overall better for digestion. It's great, get that flow going and the blood flow and circulation. So it does keep you warmer.
And like you mentioned, having cravings, a lot, what I'll notice happening in the past years at my personal transition time is I'll be buying the summer foods or the early fall foods, and I'll be throwing them away because I'm not cooking them, because I'm not eating them, because they don't sound good, and not really wanting that cold, crunchy salad maybe. And so that for me, instead of wondering why is that happening or why am I throwing, healthy, fresh vegetables away that we didn't use up in time, that's really when I start going, okay, I need to start cooking, hotter dishes. And sometimes even what I'll do, because I still like to have the salads and the fresh greens, but I'll top them with a hot salmon fillet or your hot onion turmeric recipe, something sauteed or mushrooms if mushrooms, are tolerable for people. It's really good. You can put hot roasted peppers and all kinds of things on there, and it really helps, warm up the salad and turn it into more of a winter food.
Oh yeah, I love the sauteed onions. I'm so glad you're enjoying the turmeric with that because I just think it's amazing together.
It is.
A little bit of pepper and the cumin on top of it. But I'm kind of like you, not just the sauteed onions, but I do like my peppers with it, and then do like meatless burritos with the sour cream. One thing I really like around the fall time throughout winter is like not only hot green teas, but like the hot water with honey and turmeric in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very warming, and it really aids in the digestion as well.
Yeah, and for those who like to have lemon water in the morning as well, that is the citrus is really good to help keep you warm. So that's something that you can maintain from summer to winter as well, or add in the winter time.
Mm-hmm. And in the winter, people might not realize too that when they're feeling sluggish, your immune system can kind of drop a little bit with the cold foods. So
Absolutely.
we want to make sure like the warming, make sure you get the proper grains, nothing that spikes the glucose. You want the whole grain, you want the whole oats. It's just really be mindful like when you're shopping, or if you feel cold or you feel like a cold's coming on, what am I doing wrong or what can I add? And not only vitamin C for the immune system, but like your vitamin D's, and then go into the proper warming foods. So.
Absolutely, because of course, vitamin C rich foods, and like you mentioned, the immune system commonly does wear down in the wintertime. And I've actually read a study, I don't have it cited at the moment, but where the mice in the wintertime, their nostril, the skin layer actually thinned out, and that's from the immune system kind of reducing. And so that's why when people do get sick or the cold or the flu, it seems to linger around longer. And it's really a handful of things. I mean, if it's rainy and snowy, viruses can stick. If you're cold and you're staying indoors, then, viruses are lingering. But having those high vitamin C rich foods, and like you mentioned, the vitamin D, because we're big on it year round, if that's safe to say, correct?
Correct.
And a lot of people, if they're not outside in the wintertime, as we hear, it's very good to supplement with vitamin D, approved by your doctor in the wintertime, but it builds your immune system and it strengthens it. So, not just vitamin C, but vitamin D will build your immune system, because a deficient amount will decrease your immune system. So obviously, supplementing or taking in more will increase it.
Not only that, but vitamin D is really good in the winter too for those that get like the winter blues, like touch of depression. So, make sure that you're watching that as well, because right around this time, I know that the holidays, everyone's in good spirits because they're shopping for people and wrapping the presents and playing Santa. But it's usually after the holidays, it's like a decline. I think it's that holiday high is now gone, reality sets in, and it's like, oh, now I got the blues. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know about you guys, but for here in February is like the worst.
Oh, yeah. Because, I think that's when it catches up with you. All the extra foods and the extra comfort foods and the extra coffee and the lack of exercise and more indoors and, who knows about holiday drama and whatever comes with that for some families,
Yeah, for some it's kind of like coming back from Disneyland and you're like depressed because now you got the, Disney blues because you had so much fun, and then it's like, oh my gosh, I'm bored. It's like, where's Mickey?
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like that around here in the winter, but
yeah, I'm offering a major accountability program for this time of the year, and I'm sure you're doing the same with your clients, because it's so important to encourage still being outdoors and still exercising and maintaining that better health, physique is really important, because the worst thing is when February comes and you feel absolutely horrible. It's the worst thing.
It is. But that too is where you want to keep the gut strong and
yes.
making sure it's nourished, not only with the warming foods, but the proper foods the gut needs. And so
yes.
Keeping that temperature regulated, believe it or not, plays a huge impact on the gut. So
I really like sugar-free chai tea with unsweetened coconut milk, and I warm up the coconut milk with the chai. It's an alternative to the caffeine in the coffee, and it's sweet, so it kind of fills that, need for something sweet without being, pie.
I like that. It's funny. You can also do the warm ginger teas. I mean, that's great for inflammation, aids in the digestive process, helps balance strong, like the stomach acids.
Oh, yeah. It's extremely warming.
And you can add some fresh lemon to that as well. So I know that, was it Yogi tea? I think they have a ginger.
They do,
tea.
But you can also, it's so easy. My mother-in-law does this all the time, but you can take a big pot of boiling water. You can shave some fresh ginger, and it really you only need about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, depending on, the level of heat and spice that you like. And you simmer it for, I think by the time it's been an hour, you're getting the benefits of the ginger. But of course, like many things, the longer you simmer it, 2, 3, 4 hours, I just leave it on the stove all day and, ladle in scoops of it when I really need to have some digestion, assistance, and it's delicious and it's fresh and it's fun, and then you can kind of put it in mason jars, put it in the fridge, and heat it up each day, and it's a really good way to get in your fresh ginger.
For those that haven't experienced ginger like that, shaving it yourself, if you're not used to it, it has like a really strong flavor to it.
Yeah.
So you want to do it according to the taste that you like, because if you get too strong, you're more likely you're not going to drink it. But if you just start shaving it lightly, taste it, and get how you like it, and then go from there. But I just bought me a little thing of ginger for that, so I'll be adding that to my tea soon.
Nice.
Yeah, I know potato soup is really good warming.
With leeks. Leeks are good warming as well.
Broccoli, cauliflower, onions, squash, beets, purple, sweet, red, and white, vegetables.
Yeah,
carrots. So those are high in fiber and easy to digest, and that's great for your digestion. So,
and the broccoli, a lot of those vegetables are having vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, all of those foods that are helping with circulation, which we have a Awaken Health podcast on circulation specifically, which we did right after winter, because it's really important to focus on your circulation, to be staying warm and not too cold, because it makes you miserable being that cold in your own home. Sometimes it's miserable. It's so hard to have any production.
Well, I think my family gets frozen in the winter because I always have the back sliding door cracked a little bit. I know I'm crazy, but I'm always with my hot water and honey or something, and my warming stuff. And they're like, man, it's so cold in here. It's like, how long has the furnace been running? I'm like, I think it feels great. Plus, getting that circulation of the air in the house kind of gets the stagnant of the air and the germs coming out. And it's just, for me, it's really peaceful just feeling that crispness. Now, there are days where I'm like, okay, now it's too cold to open it. But right now, being the temperature we're at today, I do have the back door cracked open.
I have the slider right now where I'm podcasting cracked just a little bit, and it is a little chilly and windy, so hopefully there's no, sound interruption for our show. But I do the same thing because I just think it's so gross to just keep all that air in all the time. And when I'm home, I always have the kitchen window cracked and my living window cracked. And then every day I'll kind of air out the bedroom. I mean, you're sleeping in there all night. Who knows what else is happening?
Right.
So, it's just so fresh to just clean the air.
And it's really good to focus on your belly breathing with that coming in too, because now your lungs are getting, refreshed, and it's just, I don't know, it's very relaxing, and you just get more airway. And my family thinks I'm crazy, but I'm like sweatshirt, window cracked, and sipping my hot water, it's like, I feel great.
It's a dream.
But, So like the potatoes, it's got the potassium, vitamin C, the vitamin Bs, and they do relax you. I know it was last winter. My husband came home and I had this vegetable soup, and I had all the vegetables that would, for some, create a lot of gas. And he's like, I'm not sure I want to eat that. Like, you're going to be fine. And it was really good, and there was no effects afterwards. But with the seasoning and just like the onions and just whatever you can think of, it was really good.
Yeah.
So
you and I both made a soup. I made mine yesterday. Did you make yours yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, I know we swapped pictures, and I love having, you can do meatless soups, you can do veggies. If beans work for you, you can add beans. I mean, I love having the bone broth and no antibiotics and natural, maybe turkey and organic vegetables, and then the seasonings. And you can put squash and onions and, oh my gosh, zucchini, all kinds of things in there. Green beans.
Yeah, I feel like I get more creative in the kitchen when it's cold out. I don't know why. It's just, I guess it's just that warmingness. It's like you want the house to smell good and feel warm and welcoming, and the foods. And so it's like you're cooped up. Why not just experiment with some food? And yeah, surprisingly, they like some of my stuff and they'll eat it. But
well, it's so easy to start wanting those really, heavy, comforting meals. Meatloaf and stew and baked potatoes. But before you know it, it's way too much gluten. It's getting overdone. It's less organic, and then people feel more sluggish, and their digestive system is, being neglected. And then they don't feel like cooking, and then they're eating out. This is a routine I've seen so often. So nourishing the body with food that's easy on the digestive system. You're still going to get those warming foods. You're going to get those cravings met, but you're just going to feel better. Your body's going to be able to function better. And, if you're having too many cold foods and you feel cold, it's a very good indicator, then that blocks and prevents our tissues from absorbing the nutrients that are being given. So, eating the wrong foods at the wrong time necessarily can actually, have less of an absorption effect. And I know there's many people who live in Canada and Alaska, and they still eat ice cream and smoothies, but it's just, it's the contribution. It's being conscious. It's making that mental shift, to eat certain things in the winter versus the summer, to just nourish your specific, individual body on what you feel that you're needing.
Mm-hmm. Sugar is probably not really good in the winter, just because if you get a cold, sinus infections, that sugar just kind of feeds into that more. Then you get the mucus, and so I would suggest, if you can, cut back on your sugar during the winter and just see how your immune system plays out for you, and you might find that you are stronger and can tolerate more. So,
and like I said, I know there's holidays, but it is still easy to recreate your favorite recipes in the holidays. So I make an amazing sweet potato pie that has absolutely no added sugar and a very healthy crust. It's delicious. And, when I'm craving something sweet, you can do a crustless pie where you can bake apples or pears with cinnamon, and it's extremely delicious and satisfying. So a lot of your favorite dishes can actually be recreated if you want to do less carb or less sugar or less dairy, whatever, your body's requiring at that time. And then it's really fun because you're still making your favorite recipe, but you're putting a healthier twist on it.
I agree.
B vitamin deficiency, it increases sensitivity to cold. And I don't know if you know this, but I've read that our B vitamins diminish daily. So they actually have to be replenished daily. It's not, I took some B vitamins or ate some foods high in B vitamins 3 days ago, I'm good. You really want to make a conscious effort to replenish your B vitamins daily, mainly your B12. And again, that will help, minimize the effect of, coldness throughout the fall and winter season.
You can do oatmeal and rice. There again, you're going to go the whole grain rice and oats. Rye, barley, quinoa, wild rice, and brown rice is a really good warming. But for the oats, if you can, with any of these, try the organic. But the oats you want gluten-free, because then if you have any intolerances to gluten, you won't have to worry about the sensitivity of it, and you'll just be gluten-free. So
yeah, that's great.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, you could do coconut milk, cinnamon, a pinch of salt, to, spice it up, sweeten it up a little bit.
And then, like, keeping you warm throughout your day so you don't get, like, a temperature drop and stuff. You could do, like, walnuts with almonds, sesame seeds. We already talked about the peppers, the chili peppers, shallots, garlic, onion. You already said leeks. Beef, eggs. Protein is warming. Lamb, the pork, poultry, and the oily fish. You can do a really good grass-fed butter. And we talked about the ginger. You could do nutmeg. We talked about turmeric and pepper.
Hey, Jen, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that quick interruption. Go ahead, Jen.
So yeah, we've had the turmeric and the pepper, but for those that like soy, you can do soy sauce and miso. Dates are another good thing. Coconuts, cherries, mango, and blackberries are good for warming. So it's just really important that you have go-to foods in the safe zone of your house, which is your kitchen, and that way you can be prepared. So when you are feeling cold, you'll know what to turn to rather than like cold water or something that's not satisfying for your warmth.
Absolutely.
Apple slices with nut butter is good. I know that we talked about sweet potatoes. Rutabaga is real warming. You can do mini wraps with brown rice, beans, and veggies with some avocado. Always keep avocado on hand. It's like the best healthy fat you could ever find. The hummus and guacamole, and I know that you and I talked before about the hummus, and there again, if you're one that really watches the ingredients, you really want to pay attention to the oils that are put in there, because before you know it, like me, you're consuming hummus and you go, this is really good, and a couple months go by and you're like, why am I not digesting this properly? It's got the wrong oil in it. So when I figured that out, I've noticed a huge difference, and I've also cut back on how often I consume hummus, because that's like one of my downfall go-to foods. Pumpkin and gingerbread muffins, and then you can do cranberries and figs.
That sounds great. Cranberries and figs sound beautiful.
I'm making myself hungry right now. But those are all things that you can keep on hand and just experiment. Get creative. You could, I don't know, do my favorite beans. You can do the assorted beans, and you can do like your peppers and your onions and seasonings and make little wraps with them, and they're so good.
Yeah, we definitely encourage recipes and cooking and meal planning ahead of time. That way you don't find yourself hungry and with no warming foods on hand, and then maybe I'll get a salad. No, that doesn't sound good, and then we go for a less optimal choice. So really kind of, when I make soups, I make a 2-day soup usually. And sometimes I'll do the bone broth, the vegetable broth. Sometimes I'll put even knuckle bones in there to get, collagen. I've put chicken feet in there for gelatin. And I just let them sit there and simmer for 2 days. And everyone who gets hungry can just go have a bowl of it. It's there. It's available. It's delicious, it's filling, and, hydrating. You get so many minerals from the bones, and it's great. It's easy as well, because, you pop it all in there, chop it up, and then you got food for 2 days. If you do 2 of those a week, you're pretty good on some healthy food.
My youngest loves the broths.
Oh,
and he doesn't care what type of soup it is. He won't eat the food. He just wants to sip on the broth. And I'm like, well, this will be easy.
It's
so I'm already thinking about, what to fix him for the winter. But I'd rather him do that than like the hot cocos.
Oh, yeah. It tastes so much better than it sounds, because I'm sure most of us have heard, drink bone broth. It's healthy. And I knew that, and I knew how healthy it was. But I just didn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to it. And then once I tried it, I was like, wow, this is so delicious and so nourishing for the body. So the other thing, too, is I know we talked about food and vitamins and indoors, outdoors. Like you were just mentioning, how to stay warm throughout the day. This isn't necessarily on the topic of warming foods, but just a proper base layer for your temperature, for your region, depending on where you're living. instead of, having to put 2, 3, 4 layers on, or just frankly being miserably cold, just a really good quality base layer. Bass Pro Cabela's, I know of, have great ones. They are very functionable, and you'll just be so comfortable. And then you can get out there, you can exercise, you can be in nature, you can see the beauty of the winter, and they're, they're just, it's helpful. And if you're too hot, you take half off or switch it up.
Right, and also don't skip your meals. I mean, I think that you should maintain the balance of what you're eating throughout your whole entire day and let it carry over through the week. Just play around with it. I mean, there again, the whole mindful, be aware, pay attention to the body. If you notice you're getting too hot, then maybe cut back a little bit and pay attention to what ingredients you're putting in there. If you're putting like really hot stuff, yeah, you're going to get overheated. But it does work, and it will satisfy your body throughout the winter. And it's just, we want you to stay healthy and warm, and we want to keep the gut strong and healthy so you can have the perfect digestion. So
exactly. Start the new year off great. Don't have that, horrible February slump. It's like a dark cloud. It just comes.
Right.
But
it is.
And exercise throughout the winter. And I'm not talking grueling 7 days a week at the gym, 3 hours a day. That's, really not feasible unless you work at a gym or own a gym. Let's just be honest. But a yoga, a walk, Pilates, there's so many, you can still go on a hike. There's so many different things you can do throughout the week to stay outside and to, not overdo it, but to just maintain that endurance and that energy level. That's going to help keep you warm. So, it'll increase your circulation, and it's just really important. And then that helps balance your hormones as well, serotonin, melatonin, and the others. That way, come the new year, you're feeling good, you're in your routine, you're happy, you had a beautiful holiday season, we hope, for you, and you took care of your body, and that's what's most important.
Exactly. I'm already preparing my body for surgery, so I'm already doing like the vitamin C, the vitamin D, I'm doing the collagen and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I just want to be really prepared ahead of time, and I've been exercising to keep my body strong and mentally strong.
Good.
But it's just kind of funny, you're saying it's winter, you should go out and move and exercise. Even though I won't be able to walk, I'm already strategizing and being creative in my head about what types of exercises I can still do on the floor to maintain and feel like I'm still doing something, because I'm not one to like lay in bed for a month and do nothing. So I'm already focusing in on that. So it'll be interesting to see what I can do.
Yeah, you could do, stretching with your upper body. You could do weights, free weights, with your upper body.
So I just won't tell my doctor I'm planning that, because he's already looking at me like, you better stay down.
Well, do follow doctor's orders, because you do want your healing process to go smoothly. But, little things like sitting on the couch and lifting a weight or something, you should be okay. Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. Before we close, and I'm sure we'll open up our next podcast with this, but which day of this month, Jen, is our 1 year Awaken Health Pod anniversary?
Next Monday.
What's the date? I don't have it right.
I don't either. I think is it the 14th?
Maybe. Okay. Well, almost 1 year of Awaken Health Pod, bringing you wellness podcasts with Jen and I. We love it. We enjoy it. We have a blast doing it, and we just hope our listeners continue to grow and share their feedback with us.
And it's not the 14th. Actually, it's the 12th. So it is Monday, November 12th. So,
oh, yay. Well,
happy anniversary.
Thank you so much, and have a great day, everybody. We look forward to your feedback, and we're going to close this podcast. See you later.